My name is Ibola and I have 21 years old.
Ibi, please tell us a little bit about your childhood.
After I was born, my parents left me at the hospital, and eventually I was taken to the orphanage where I spent all of my childhood and most of my adolescence for 17 years.
Can you share some of the difficulties that you experienced growing up in the orphanage here in Aradia?
I was lonely, and I didn't like to talk to people. I was a very quiet person. I tried to manage on my own. Oftentimes I was fooling around, acting wild, jumping in people's faces. I was just mean because I don't have anything else to do. I often got involved in fights. Also, the educators were really hard on us. Sometimes they would even hit us. And then they would try to flatter us when other people were present.
Why? Did they have something to gain?
Yes, when the holidays were coming or we would have foreign guests as missionaries, they would bring us things. So they wanted us to pretend, like they love us so they could benefit from whatever we got. But I knew their love was not genuine. It was just a facade. It was fake. So I was trying to respect the rules of the orphanage by holding much fear in my heart. Fear of the educators, fear of the bigger kids that were often bullying us and beating us. There were so many unjust punishments and abuses. Everything that we had to do was just to listen to them and do as they said.
So how was your relationship with the older kids?
The older kids were treating us differently and very unfair. They were really blunt about who was more beautiful or who was uglier. They used to hit those they considered ugly, and those that they considered pretty were protected. I was amongst the ugly ones, so I used to get a lot of beatings. I didn't know what to do or where to go. Educators also used to spank us, so I couldn't find a refuge with them. They pretended they didn't see the abuse going on.
Can you please tell us about your spiritual encounters, how you heard the gospel, and how you came to believe in God?
Well, there was this Christian association named Barnaba, which was often organizing clubs one day a week where we studied the Bible and we had other fun activities such as crafts. There I heard the first notions about God. I became more and more interested about the subject. At first, I used to go to these clubs in order to get away from the beatings in the orphanage. But after a while, I started going because the activities that they had there.
Dar în al doilea rând, ce era fain că învățam chestii faine, cântam, auzeam lecții, desenam, coloram și așa, în activitatea pe care o aveam, știam că e un câștig.
Was it hard to live the Christian life at the orphanage?
Yes, it was very hard. Many of the children from the orphanage from CP2 saw my desire to become a Christian and to live a clean life and to follow God, and they used to mock me for it. I tried to show that I didn't care, although I didn't like it, but I didn't know how to react. The interesting part is that whenever they were mocking me, they were often calling me names like the repented, which means pocăit in Romanian. I was not angry, I was only trying to just ignore them.
Dar ce era fain că atunci când ei își băteau joc de mine și îmi ziceau pocăită și scăită, nu băgam de seamă. Pur și simplu îmi vedeam eu de treaba mea și eram mult mai câștigată.
Can you please tell me how you felt when you had to leave CP2 and what were the circumstances?
Before I left the orphanage, I was very scared and worried because I didn't know what was happening next. I was reading the Bible in that time and I found a verse where God promised He would never leave His children to beg for their food. This verse encouraged me a lot. After a while, God opened the door for me to visit Agape Christian Association, where I learned more about God. After I found this place, I wasn't worried. Mi-a zis, du-te la fundația aia, că acolo mă vei
I'm glad to hear that. So how has your life changed since you've been at Agape?
Here at Agape, I had so many things to learn and to do. At the state orphanage, we weren't used to all these things. Bible study, homeschool, cleaning, cooking, and whatever else is needed to be done. I've learned in time the value and satisfaction of work. I've learned what a personal relationship with the Lord implies. I've learned how to write my thoughts from the Bible so I can remember what God tells me, especially when I'm down and discouraged. I also learned to cook and how to be responsible, how to grow in my spiritual faith, and how important it is to go each Sunday to church and to have fellowship. I also learned to speak and act in a respectful way when I am around people.
Și cum să mă duc în fiecare duminică la biserică și cum să respect regula bisericii. Și am învățat să fiu mult mai ordonată în comportament, în vorbire, cum să pot să acționez când vorbesc cu oamenii. Am învățat ce înseamnă o dragoste.
How did your relationship with Sue help you grow in your relationship with God?
At first, it was hard with Sue because she was scolding me often, and of course I didn't like it. But when I knew her better and who she really was, I saw in her a love for me and that she tries to help me, to grow me, to teach me. After that, I was more open towards her, ready to listen to her. I started spending more time with her and to speak with her. When she came to visit me at the center, I showed my respect for her by listening to her. It happened many times that I used to upset her, but then I would ask for forgiveness in order to maintain our relationship. All these brought us closer and my relationship with her grew stronger.
Încercam să o respect, sau de multe ori când e greșeam, îmi ceream iertare, deși de multe ori ziceam așa, îmi pare rău, dar era și când îmi părea rău și ce era fain că acum sunt mult mai apropiată de Sue. Relația mea e mult mai strânsă cu ea.
So seeing the way that she lived brought you closer to
Yes,
God.
definitely. I used to have Bible study with her before coming at Agape, and I saw her genuine love for God and also for us, the young orphans. Seeing her behavior, my confidence in her grew. No matter how bad or how bold I was, or how bad my reactions were whenever I didn't like something, I saw that she loved me.
Indiferent că eram ea sau că săream pe ea, ea vedea că eu o iubesc.